Have you ever considered what sorts of targets you should be setting for you in your business? Have you ever wondered how tough those targets should be? Well, wonder not anymore. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the sorts of targets you should be setting for you in your business and how tough, how demanding those targets need to be. Hi folks, welcome to another weekly episode on I Hate Numbers, the channel with a mission to improve your financial awareness and understanding, improve your money mindset, help you make more profit for your business, save tax and time. What more can we want? Let's crack on with the video. The sorts of targets you should be choosing is not just financial indicators, not just financial targets. Many businesses make that mistake by focusing purely on the numbers and they're missing a trick. If you monitor profitability, for example, you may see that's a loss of it, and a decline of it is due to a loss of revenue, but that's not painting the whole story. The reason behind it, the cause behind it, not the effect, could be a quality issue with the products that you're making and selling on. It could be something to do with the quality of the service. So therefore, we need to make sure we blend in that non-financial metric. Other reasons why we should not focus purely on financial outcomes is because of the communication of those targets to ourselves and our team. Many people find it much easier to look at non-financial metrics, non-financial targets, and it makes much more sense here. So customer satisfaction, loyalty of our staff, retaining those staff there are always good, strong indicators of how successful we are as a firm, as a business. They're also less likely to be manipulated. Now, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that finance people are manipulators here, but in terms of defining profitability, in terms of deciding when costs are incurred and all the rest of it, that is subject to a bit more creativity. Having non-financial indicators in there minimises the likelihood of that, certainly in the short term. Indicators, the targets that you choose for your business, should ultimately be there to help you progress on your path to get your Northern Star. In next week's video, I'm going to be sharing some more specific examples by sector of some of the targets, some of the KPIs as some people would call them, that you can set for you and your business. They need to help you monitor in advance. If I was somebody who was interested in getting fit, for example, then my indicators would be things like how long it takes me for my pulse rate to get back to normal after a burst of intense activity. It might be measuring in terms of the amount of intense activity that I can sustain, whether it's running on the bike. It could be by looking in terms of the composition of my diet, and I'm measuring those things there as well. All those things that I'm setting as measures, as targets, are helping me towards my ultimate goal, getting to my Northern Star. The other consideration is though, how tough should those targets be? And you've got three choices. Targets can be very easy to achieve, and straightforward. If you make them too easy, then you might build in what's called slack. You may demotivate yourself and you may demotivate the team if those targets are far too easy. If you've achieved a certain level of profitability this year, you may decide because of circumstances to be very cautious and set the same level for the following year. Ask yourself the question, is that challenging enough for you and your business based on what's going on? You could be the other extreme and you can make the targets completely ridiculous and what's called too demanding. If you make the targets too demanding, unrealistic, then all that's going to happen is that A, they're not going to be achieved, B, you're not really gaining any insight, and thirdly, you're creating an element of demotivation within your team and yourself. Not good. What we're looking for is targets that are slightly stretching. They make us come out of our comfort zones, they build on what we may have achieved historically, and they push us a little bit further. Human beings love to be stretched, but what's important here is to make sure we create the right environment for that to happen. A topic for another video. So in summary, when you choose your targets, make sure those targets are relevant for the path that you're choosing to get your Northern Star. A restaurant that wishes to build up its profitability will set its targets on the level of gross margins, for example, and it will set its targets on things like customer satisfaction. A manufacturer that wants to increase its efficiency, increase its level of profitability, will have targets about the quality of the output. It will have targets set about the cost of that final production. The target itself in terms of whether they're too demanding. If it's too demanding, you will not succeed and you're leading to a massive fall. So in conclusion, make sure those targets are stretching, not too much slack built in, don't make them too easy, but don't make them impossible so nobody actually ever achieves. Folks, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, I'd love it if you could share it with those who you feel would benefit. And until then, think about your business and think about the targets for you and what would represent stretching targets. Till next week.